Good evening, this is Mr. Win bringing you Unit 4 where we'll be looking at systems of equations. So let's take a look at the first exercise here just to refresh your memory on how to solve systems of equations. So in this first one, and if you remember from algebra, there are a couple different methods of solving systems of equations. In this one, I'll be using the first method to eliminate one of my variables. So let's eliminate the 2x in the bottom here by multiplying through by -1. So my top is still going to be 2x plus 3, y is equal to 7, and my bottom now becomes a minus 2x minus y is equal to -3. So now if you remember, at this point all you're going to do is add your top and your bottom here. So if I add these two, notice that the 2x will cancel with the minus 2x there, and a positive 3y minus y there will give you 2y, and 7 plus a -3 there will give you equal to positive 4. And to solve here, we divide by 2, and I get that y is equal to 2. And as you recall here, we're going to put the 2 back in to solve for x. So let's use the bottom there where our numbers are a little easier to work with. We have 2x plus y is equal to 3. Plugging the 2 in, I get 2x plus 2 is equal to 3. Subtracting the 2, I get 2x is equal to 1. And lastly, divide by 2, and I get x is equal to 1 over 2. And that's just a refresher from algebra there. So let's take a look at the next one here. So looking at question number 2 here, let's use the other method that you may remember from algebra, and have noticed that the bottom one here is going to be easy to use substitution for if we set it as y equals. So let's add the 2x over. Adding the 2x over, I get y is equal to 2 plus 2x. So now we can use substitution and have 5x minus 2, plugging that y in, we get 2 plus 2x here, is equal to 4. Now that we've substituted in, we're down to one variable, so now we can just distribute that -2 in, so we have 5x minus 4 minus 4x is equal to 4. So combine your like terms here, I have x minus 4 is equal to 4, and adding the 4 over, I get that x is equal to 8. So again, I'm going to use the bottom equation here to solve for y. It does look to be a little easier, so I have -2 times my x, which is 8, plus y is equal to 2. So I get -16 plus y is equal to 2, and just adding the 16 over, I get that y is equal to 18, and x was equal to 8. So let's take a look at question number 3 here and apply this to a word problem. Taking a look at the third question here, it says that a scientist wants to create a 120 milliliter of a solution that is 30% acidic, and to create the solution she has access to a 20% solution and a 45% solution. So how many milliliters of each solution should she combine to create the 30% solution? Well, first I know that she wants to create a 30% solution, so let's find out what 30% of 120 is. So we have 120 times 0.30, which will give us 36. So the question's asking us if I know that I want x plus y, and I'll put it to the side here, x is going to be my 20% solution, and y is going to be my 45% solution. So I want their total, x plus y, to equal 120, the total. And it also tells us that the 20% there, so 0.20 times x plus 0.45, our 45% solution, times y is going to equal 36, 30% of the total. So now let's clear some space here because we will need all of it here. So let's clear this away and rewrite what we know now. We have that x plus y is going to equal 120. And we have that 0.20x plus 0.45y is going to equal 36. So taking a look at this, and we can eliminate either the x or the y here. I will be eliminating the x by multiplying my top here by negative 0.20. So rewriting this and distributing that through, I have negative 0.20 x minus 0.20 y is going to equal negative 24. And my bottom is still going to be 0.20x plus 0.45y is equal to 36. So at this point, all we're going to do is add, and notice the x's here will cancel. So I have positive 0.25y left is equal to 12. Just adding these two here and adding these two here. So we can quickly solve this. Divide out by 0.25 and divide out by 0.25, and we get that y, our 45% solution, will be equal to 48 milliliter. So if we go back and plug this in, and I'll plug it to the top so we don't have to work with decimals there. So plugging that in, I have x plus my y now of 48 is equal to 120. And all we're going to do is subtract the 48 to solve for x. And we do get that x is equal to 72 milliliters. So let's take a look at the next question here, question number 4. In question number 4 here, notice that now we have 3 variables, but we are going to be taking the same steps. And remember, our steps is really just to eliminate 1 or 2 of our variables here. So in this one, notice that I can add these two bottom equations here right away and eliminate one of my variable, namely variable z. So I have 4x minus y minus z is equal to negative 1, and I'm adding x plus 4y plus z is equal to 12. So if I add these here, I get 5x plus 3y, and notice the z will cancel, is equal to 11. Next, I'm going to do the same thing, and this time add my first equation here and my third equation. So if I add those, now I have 2x plus 3y minus z is equal to 5, and I'm adding x plus 4y plus z, which was equal to 12. So if I add these two here, I get 3x plus 7y, and notice the z here again will cancel, is equal to 17. So at this point, now we are down to 2 equations. So it'll be similar to what we did for questions 1 through 3 here. My 2 equations are going to be this one on the left here and this one here on the right. So let me set those up. Rewriting this here, let me clear some space. So my 2 new equations here are going to be 5x plus 3y is equal to 11. And my other one was 3x plus 7y is equal to 17. So now we are down to 2 variables here. And again, we're going to just eliminate one of our variables by multiplying by a negative here, with the coefficients being the same. And an easy way to do that is to take the top and bottom, multiply it through. So I have negative 3, and I'll set the top one to be negative, and the bottom I'll multiply by 5. That way I know that my coefficients are going to be the same for the x's there. So my top one is going to become negative 15x minus 9y is equal to negative 33. And my bottom now becomes 15x plus 35y is equal to 85. So now I can add these two, and I notice right away that the x's there will cancel because that's how we set it up. And then my y's will become 26y is equal to, and again just adding these here, we will get 52. And if I divide by 26 here and divide by 26, I get that y is equal to 2. So now we can plug that back into one of our equations, either this one here or the bottom one here, to solve for x. And I'll plug it to the top one here. So I have 5x plus 3 times y, which was 2, is equal to 11. And just solving this quickly here, we have 5x plus 6 is equal to 11. Subtract the 6, and we get 5x is equal to 5, which means that x will be equal to 1. So we have now x is equal to 1. And lastly, we just need to solve for z. But now that we know x and y, we can just use one of our equations. So let's use the top one here. So we have 2 times our x, which was 1, plus 3 times our y, which was 2, minus z is going to equal 5. So just plugging in everything that I know. Now that I know that, I have 2 plus 6 minus z is equal to 5. Combine your like terms and I get 8 minus z is equal to 5. Subtracting the 8, I get negative z is equal to negative 3. And I just divide by a negative 1 there. And it will give me that z is equal to positive 3. That's it for this lesson. If you have any questions, please bring them to class. And as always, thanks for watching.